Imagine a wall of water, a liquid avalanche, thundering through a desert canyon, tearing apart a city that had stood for 1,000 years. It's a scene of unimaginable destruction. But this isn't a modern disaster film. This is the story of an ancient engineering marvel and how its catastrophic failure scattered a people across an entire continent, forever changing the course of history. What was this structure? This is the story of the Great Dam of Marib in the heart of ancient Yemen, nestled in the Dana Valley. The Sabaean Kingdom flourished long before the rise of Rome or the Golden Age of Greece. These were the masters of the deserts. Their secret, the Great Dam of Marib, constructed around the 8th century BCE. This was no simple barrier. It was a sophisticated system of engineering, a monumental earthen structure reinforced with stone, stretching over 600 meters across the valley. It wasn't designed to hold back a massive lake, but to tame the seasonal flash floods, diverting their life-giving water through a complex network of canals and sluice gates. This mastery of water transformed the arid landscape into a lush, green paradise. Two vast oases, described in inscriptions as the Two Gardens, flanked the city of supporting a thriving agricultural economy. The Sabaeans cultivated dates, grains, and most importantly, the prized frankincense and myrrh trees. Their control over the incense root, the ancient world's most lucrative trade network, brought them immense wealth and power. For over a millennium, the dam was the beating heart of Sabaean civilization. It was a symbol of their ingenuity, their prosperity, and their control over nature itself. The kingdom was so legendary for its riches that it is believed to be the home of the fabled Queen of Sheba. The dam was not just infrastructure, it was the very foundation of their world. But no empire lasts forever, and even the strongest stone can crack. As centuries passed, the Sabaean Kingdom began to face immense pressure. Internally, political power shifted. Rival Hammurite kings seized control, bringing new priorities and perhaps less reverence for the old ways. Dynastic struggles and civil wars diverted resources and attention away from the monumental task of maintaining the dam. Externally, the world was changing. The Romans had discovered how to use the monsoon winds to sail directly to India, bypassing the overland incense route and crippling the Sabaean economy. Less wealth meant fewer funds for the constant, expensive upkeep the dam required. Inscriptions from the period tell a story of escalating trouble. We have records of major breaches and heroic repair efforts. In the 4th and 5th century CE, kings documented massive reconstruction projects, mobilizing tens of thousands of workers to mend the cracking structure. They celebrated these repairs as great triumphs, a testament to their power and their ability to hold back the forces of chaos. But they were fighting a losing battle. Each repair was a temporary fix. The silt buildup behind the dam was relentless, raising the water level and putting ever-increasing pressure on the aging structure. The kingdom was weakening, and so was its vital artery. The cracks in the dam were a mirror of the cracks forming in their society. The heart of Saba was beginning to fail. The final break came around in the year 575 CE. This was not just another breach. This was the one from which there would be no recovery. The Quran calls it the Sayl al Arim, the flood of the dam. We can imagine the scene. After days of torrential rain, the pressure became too much. With a deafening roar, the structure gave way. A tidal wave of water, mud, and debris surged through the valley, obliterating everything in its path. The two gardens, the source of life for generations, were wiped from the face of the earth, replaced by a barren wasteland of silt and rock. The irrigation canals, the veins of the kingdom, were choked and destroyed. The city of Marib, once a vibrant metropolis, was left ruined and unsustainable. The very basis of Sabaean life was gone. For the people of Marib, this was an apocalypse. Their world had been washed away. With their fields destroyed and their source of water gone, they faced a stark choice: starve or leave. And so began one of the most significant, yet often overlooked, mass migrations in ancient history. The great tribes of South Arabia, their lineage stretching back centuries in Yemen, were forced to abandon their ancestral homeland. It was a diaspora of epic proportions. On animated maps, we can trace their desperate journey. The tribe of Ghassan, the Ghassanids, traveled north, a massive exodus across the unforgiving desert. They eventually settled on the frontiers of the Byzantine Empire in what is now Syria and Jordan. There they established a powerful client kingdom, serving as a buffer state for the Romans against the Persian Empire and other desert tribes. They became a major political and military force, adopting Christianity and leaving behind a legacy of castles and churches in the Levant. Meanwhile, another major tribe, the Lakim, or Lakimids, migrated northeast. They settled in the orbit of the Sasanian Persian Empire, establishing their own kingdom with its capital at Al-Hira in modern-day Iran. Like their Ghassanid cousins, they played a crucial role as a buffer state. But for the Persians against the rivalry between the Ghassanids and Lakimids, descendants of the same Yemeni diaspora, became a proxy war for the two great empires of the age. Other smaller clans and tribes scattered throughout the Arabian Peninsula, carrying their culture, their poetry, and their memories of a lost paradise with them. The collapse of the Marib Dam was more than just the end of a kingdom. It was a Genesis event. It was the Big Bang that created the pre-Islamic landscape of Arabia. The floodwaters of Arim didn't just destroy a civilization. They seeded a new one. The Yemeni tribes, now scattered across the peninsula, fundamentally altered the demographic, political, and cultural map. They brought their advanced settled culture and traditions to the largely nomadic populations of the north. The stories of their lost homeland and the Great Flood became embedded in Arabian lore and poetry, a powerful cautionary tale of pride, decline, and divine will. This new complex web of tribal alliances and rivalries, from the Ghassanids in the north to the Kinda in Central Arabia, set the stage for the dramatic events that would unfold in the 7th century. The failure of one piece of ancient technology did not just end an era. It triggered a chain reaction that reforged an entire continent and, in doing so, shaped the world we live in today. The echoes of the Marib Dam's collapse still reverberate through history. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey into the past. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into forgotten history. Let us know in the comments what ancient mystery you'd like us to explore next. See you in the next one.